Kentucky until you've at least had your hair cut one time by
I need to do that then. I don't have much to cut, but I need to come
You need to go
by.
up there one time.
I will do that.
Let me know when you're going to be there, and I'll come and sing
Okay,
for
that
you.
sounds good. Well, John, by the way, he is not only has a good head, he's got his hair well taken care of, but he's a classy dresser. He has he wears a pocket square, and he can pull it off. I can only pull a pocket square off a couple times a year. But John drives a very classy guy, and he's another gentleman who married. Well, all three of the commissioners have great spouses, but his wife Bev is
dynamic.
He tells such great stories about both them as they're growing up their kids, and I don't remember his memory of stories. I cannot remember what I had for lunch yesterday, and John will have a story that will get me laughing, and it's witty, and it has it's amazing. It's a gift, really. It's a gift.
It is a gift. Now, is Ralph Bailey still working, or is he retired?
Ralph Bailey, who is 88, he just celebrated his 88th birthday.
Well, isn't he a magnificent man?
This is a gentleman who's worked for the county for, I think, 25, he's almost maybe 30 years. He retired from Sears, then came to work with Clyde Middleton.
I think I bought a sweeper off of him.
He probably did. And he moved from Chicago, and I think he opened up the Florence Mall.
Yeah, he was a manager there.
And so he has done very well. But Ralph, at 88, still works a couple of days a week. And he actually handles primarily some special projects, but also handles the Justice Center. So the building that's the real courthouse, he actually manages that for us.
Well, fantastic. I just wonder about that June's giving me a message here. We got 15 minutes.
Gotcha.
So I've got to be careful here because I don't want to violate any of the rules that June sets down.
She means on the show, not on your wife, right?
She's one of 9 children, too.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, every time you turn a rock over in Campbell County, you find another guy in it.
Yeah, sure. So the furniture store?
Tim, that's her brother.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim and Sandy. And and Jim, he's in the furniture business, too. He's just, I think, getting close to retirement.
Okay.
And I told you about my son retired 36 years.
Yeah.
He's been the head of the revenue office out there, I think, for about 20 years. And I told him when he got the job, stay out of politics. Leave that to Dad.
Right.
And he has.
Yeah, leave that to the crazy people.
That's right.
Yeah.
But his staff had a going away party for him.
That's nice.
They invited me out there, so I didn't know what I was supposed to do, so naturally I just spoke and sang.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
But we had a good time. Randy, anything you want to add at all about the church being involved and helpful with government? I know you had the experience of the new highway going by out there, and they worked with you all very well, didn't they?
Yes. Everybody's so amazed that it hasn't been there for a while. They come back out and they say, everything's changed. And it really hasn't, and they learn to navigate it pretty easily. My brother-in-law, case in point, from over in Boone County, he came over for a Thanksgiving thing, and he GPS'd us and missed us twice at the house, not at the church. But yeah, it's always a privilege. I mean, I've worked with government in several counties, with different things with the church, and everybody's always been right on the spot.
And you had a state representative that went to your church for a long time, an old friend of mine and railroader. I worked on the railroad with him, Phil King, back in the 60s.
State rep? Was he a state rep?
Yeah, he was a state rep, and in fact, one of the most important state reps in our area, because it was him and Art Schmidt, the two. Folks, I've been battling some kind of a sinus infection, and I'm sorry about that, but the show has to go on. But Phil King was the Democrat, with Louis Nunn as the governor.
Sure.
And I was involved with that because I was president of the student body at the community college then. And we gathered the 3,000 signatures to get the thing started. And it was a battle. It was a real battle. But Phil King got the Democrats lined up with Dewey and Carroll and Wendell Ford. And he did a masterful job. And Art Schmidt was the governor. And Ken Harper was involved in that. Clyde was involved in the law school coming over later. In fact, he probably wouldn't have come over without Clyde's assistance as senator.
Sure.
But Phil King worked really well with the church there too, didn't he?
Yes.
Randy.
Yes.
And his wife Selma's still alive, I think.
Oh, yes, she's doing great. I saw her Sunday to talk to her. And of course, you know, his children are all chips off the old block.
Yeah, well, one of his sons is an attorney, and I think his daughter is Terry Schobert King.
Oh, that's the connection. Okay.
That's the connection there.
Okay. Wow, small world.
And Terry Schobert King, I know she didn't win a race for judge, but boy, she would have made a good judge.
She's very good.
And she's a very talented lady.
Yes.
And I tell you what, if you ever need a lawyer that knows what they're doing.
I mean, I don't think she'll stay away. Hopefully she runs again. So.
Yeah. Well, that's Judge. Now, what about the old courthouse? Let's talk about that just a little bit, because I put a picture on there on purpose.
Yep.
I go home every night, and I'll tell you what, there's been a minute time, and I had to compliment the mayor of Independence, and
Chris Reinersman.
Chris Reinersman.
Yes, good guy.
And a good guy. And I sang for him too, and I had to compliment him because the council there in Independence put up a beautiful flag there. One of the prettiest flags I have ever seen. And when I'm coming up that hill out of Covington,
Isn't it great? It's huge.
and I see that there, I have this unbelievable urge just to pull over on the side of the road, park the car, get my camera out, and film that flag and sing the national anthem.
Yeah, that's great.
Now, I've done that a few times. People wonder what.
We all know you're crazy. So.
I go on down to the old courthouse and pull in beside the old courthouse and sing another song or two with the courthouse in the background. And I think, it doesn't get any better than this, folks. This is the real world. We got the government center down there that's the most modern government center in the state of Kentucky. And then we've got the historic courthouse with all the history tied to it and Independence. I remember interviewing Bill Straw out there on the grounds when I did my history of Kentucky.
He had his, what do you call the knot? String tie.
String tie. Yeah, they had the aristocratic pear tree, which is planted out there.
Yes.
I got that planted on the Capitol grounds for him when I was with Congressman John Breckinridge. And what a wonderful man he was. I live right across the street from him now. That's where June and I rent a little house there. But are there any plans for the old courthouse? You all have done a lot of fixing it up.
There are. Well, number one, we had to invest a lot of money. So this is going back 12, 13 years. The Independence Courthouse, which it had fallen into disrepair, and for 12 years we had a budget to fix the roof and the cupola, the roof. So we finally did that this past year. So we fixed the roof permanently rather than patching it and piecing it. Then we also fixed the internal trusses that had been starting to form cracks, and the roof was starting to fall. And then so we weatherproofed it. We got water to stop flowing through the basement, water to stop flowing through the roof, which has cost a lot of money and a lot of time. And if you've seen, we've just finished repainting the entire structure, cleaned it up. Gutters are working, gutters are dumping water away from the structure. We've also then we've done a long-term plan, not that we have the dollars nor the timeline to invest in it, but we know as the county grows, Independence is really the center of the county. It's not in South Kenton County, it's really the center. So when we're all dead and gone, Kenton County will grow past that building. So we know that that'll still be needed to expand services. Sheriff's out there, the clerk's out there as a secondary office. And as great as Covington is, and we want to be committed to our urban core, we know that eventually that'll grow. So we have a plan. We have some designs and diagrams that show how to fix the site for parking, as well as how to probably correct the construction. Where Gabe Summey's county clerk section is on the north side of the building, that's in really not very good shape. It wasn't built for a long-term solution. So what we would probably do is build two mirror images structurals on either side and something on the back to get an elevator to the second floor, which we don't presently have. But as you know, the conservation district is in that building. We've allowed them to come into the building because they have a limited budget. They occupy most of the second floor. So as a county service, so county-wide service, they're now using space that had been unused for almost a decade. And then we're now in the process of cleaning up the interior courtroom where wallpaper has fallen off. What you will see in the next year is the old red firehouse that is to the south of it will be demolished and cleaned up. That'll add parking, because that roof has also been leaking forever, and that has been totally underutilized as well. So we've kind of been on this plan for the past 5 years to evaluate our buildings, to consolidate locations, get into the buildings that are the newer or renovated, so that we can have a solution that's not nickel and diming the county for the next 20 or 30 years. And we have also acquired some property around the site, and nothing proactive in terms of telling people they have to move, but where people have wanted to sell their houses, we've had a few that have fallen in disrepair. They sold that to the county, and also we have first right of refusal on some pieces that said, hey, whenever you sell, we, as the county grows, would love to be able to have that for parking or for structures to be built. And we've given ourselves opportunities for down the road to do that as well. So
That's
it's just
good planning.
looking out long term.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would hope you would say. Folks, Independence is going to have their Christmas walk, and coming up Saturday evening.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I want to remind you of that. Of course, a lot of the cities will have, and working with the cities is a big part of what you have to do.
19 of them in Kenton County.
19 of them in Kenton County, and probably about that many in Campbell County.
I think there's 16 or something.
16 in Campbell County. It's good and it's bad.
Yeah, we've got the best group of them ever in Kenton County, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you got a good group of people.
We got a great group of mayors who...
And Joe Meyer does a great job down in Covington.
He's working very hard, and we have a great relationship with Joe Meyer.
Yeah.
Different parties. Joe and I just led an event this morning together, celebrating a groundbreaking of a project next to Hotel Covington, and it's an existing project. But the point is, great mayors. Joe's a good mayor.
Yeah,
A
good
lot
mayor.
of good work and people working together.
The mayor out in Park Hills and Fort Wright
Yes.
do a good job.
So, Dave Hatter, and we've got Timothy Zimbrett in Park Hills. They both do great. Well, actually, as I said, and it's wonderful. Annually I have all the mayors over to my house,
Oh, wonderful.
and we may disagree or argue, but I think I've had almost every one of them where we'll have a party and celebrate and just have a good time. And we just, if you can disagree just in a professional way. But every one of them been to my house.
I had to put a plug in for Kim Mosier. She's my state representative.
She's my favorite state representative. Well, she and now Kim Banton.
And Dr. Mosier's my doctor, so I better behave.
Yes, he'll make sure he takes good care. Yeah, Kim is wonderful. Kim, well, we got a great group of local
Got a
reps.
great group.
Adam-
Northern Kentucky Caucus is great. They stick together.
Yeah.
They do a good job. I think our government's in good stead. I want to make a little mention here. An old friend passed away. I sang at his funeral the other day, and Dick Cheeseman, Richard Cheeseman,
Yeah,
who had a little pub down in Covington there somewhere. A lot of people ate there.
yeah.
And he played a lot of music, and I always said to him the other day when I spoke down at the funeral, I said, Dick always had a guitar in his hand and a song in his heart. and he's 95 years old.
Wow.
And Randy, we played with him. He played with our group, didn't he, the Hoosa Royal group,
Yeah.
for a long time. And his wife, Liz. But we lost some of our other high school graduates, Phyllis Hall and Jerry Fiddle and John Butler passed away. And Jerry Fiddle played a lot of great basketball at Simon Kenton High School. So I just wanted to say a little special thing there for those folks.
Sure.
And our Simon Kenton class 61 meets every month at a different restaurant.
Oh, that's great.
And in fact, I think the next meeting we're having is the 12th. Call me at 859-750-0000.
It's actually the 19th.
I'll find out for sure the date and the time and the place. I think it's going to be at the Lucky Duck.
It's at the Lucky Duck
It's
on the
76. I
19th
forget
of December,
something.
You do very well.
11:30.
Is
a.m.
there anything, Randy, you want to say? How about closing us off with a song? Would you mind doing that?
Be honored to. While we're in the Christmas season.
Yeah, well, we're in the Christmas season. And our Christmas shows, you'll see them on CPC Studio, Kenton County Cable Board. You'll see them down there with Jason. And I've got one called Santa's Entertainment Show and Santa's Education Series. And I hope you get a chance to watch them. They're great for kids and they're great for seniors at the senior homes. I dropped one off down at Providence Pavilion the other day and was showing it to them down there. And the seniors love it. And so they'll be on Campbell County and Kenton County, and hopefully we'll get them on here in Boone County. I got to talk them into it. And then, because that goes to, on Channel 422, goes to all the counties of northern Kentucky. Randy, what you going to do for us?
Joy Tour.
Before you do, what's coming up at church I need to tell them about?
Oh, goodness. Combined choirs with First Baptist Walton. They're at our church on the 15th evening service. We're at First Baptist Walton on the 22nd with them in the evening service, 6 o'clock both. And Infinite Realm is coming to our church this Sunday evening at 6. And then Brother Don's ordination, Sunday at 2.
Sunday at 2. All the great things going on at Randy's church there at Oak Ridge Baptist, and I can tell you my brother was a deacon there for many years. It's a great place, and they're going to have a little Christmas program over at Bethesda Community Church, where June and I go, and I filmed their services, by the way, for them, and put them all on Facebook and on YouTube for the last year, a little over a year, and so helps to get the message out there, and I'm sure your church has got things going too, haven't they?
St. Joe's Crescent Springs.
And
St. Joe's Crescent Springs.
St. Joe's Crescent Springs.
Yep.
My sister belonged to San Henry's for many, many years. She was in the choir out there 40 years.
Wow.
San Henry's. And Monsignor Hellman, oh, he was one of my best friends. Donald Hellman, wonderful man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Randy. Close us out.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And nature sing. And nature sing. And nature sing. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the Lord? Thank you, folks, for tuning us in today with Judge Kris Knockelman, a great county judge executive in northern Kentucky for Kenton County and for all the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition of godly principles and hope and faith for all of us. And go out there and remember, pray for our president and vice president and our governor and all of our other elected officials. Amen.
Amen.
Peace on earth and goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about. I'll give you 12 good reasons why Christmas is my favorite time of year. There's nothing like a little Christmas music to put me in the proper spirit.
There's a little Charlie Brown in all of us. And we love you. Our beautiful historic courthouse here in Independence, Kentucky. Newly painted, along with the great American and Commonwealth of Kentucky flags. Getting all ready for the Christmas parade on Saturday evening. Beautiful job done by the Judge Executive Kris Knockelman and the county commissioners. A busy place.